Hi guys, so I wanted to do the cheap art supply challenge for quite a while now because it looks really fun and I guess I've seen a lot of other YouTube artists do it. So, and I also found some stuff while I was cleaning my room that would work for this. So, for the supplies, the paper I'm using, obviously this is gorgeous. How is this cheap art supplies? This I got from Daiso. It's the children's sketchbook, I guess, because actually, I mean, this looks pretty adult. I mean, who are we kidding? The paper is like decently thick. I don't know, it almost feels like construction paper, but a little smoother. It's not as grainy. I hope it'll not get destroyed under watercolors because that's what I'm gonna use on them. For water, I always just use a recycled jar, so that's just like basically free. This is a jam jar. This brush, also from Daiso. Oh, Daiso, so everything there is $1.50. I think it's kind of like a Japanese dollar store, so the prices change based on the country. But this is a brush that I got from there, and it came in a set of 4, so pretty cheap. It's just a round brush, synthetic. It's kind of dirty because I use it relatively frequently. Pencil I'm using, it was free from when I took a SAT practice test last year. Kitchen paper towel. Using one of these little palettes to mix colors, these plastic ones, they're like super cheap, they're like $1. Or less usually. You can even buy them in bulk, I feel like, for way cheaper. If I end up doing any line art, I do line art last on watercolor pieces. I'm going to use some of these gel pens. I bought most of these gel pens in a big set of 48 and it was $7. So, I mean, individually they're super cheap. And for the actual paints, I have these that came in some like children's set, Art Start, whatever that means. There's little disgusting little pans. Look how it's like shriveled up. Quality. And then there's tubes. I don't know which one I'm gonna use yet. I'm gonna see which one I like more. So I have a little thing of these that I put in this little tub a while ago and forgot about. Pretty basic colors as well, you know, mostly just red, yellow, blue, and I think there's yellow ochre and umber, and there's white gouache, but I don't think I'm gonna end up using it. Probably not. You never know. Yeah, and then for some reason there's literally one bright color out of all of them, and it's hooker green. I don't know if this is focusing. So that's great. I think it comes in a pan too. Hooker's green. This pan seems like it's the fullest too, so that's great, you know. You get this much blue, but you get that much Hooker's green. Yeah. Oh, there's a pencil sharpener in here too. Huh. Bonus. Oh yeah, also I probably need, well, for my eraser I'm just using the back of this pencil, but I might use some cheap like eraser caps or something to when I erase all the pencils under. Yeah. Okay, actually I might end up using a kneaded eraser because that lifts pencil pretty well for watercolor. So yeah, oh my god. I accidentally flicked the pan out. Go back in. Okay, so I'm gonna do some swatching now. This is ultramarine. Let's check out the pigments. This little pan I have here is Prussian Blue, which is the blue I tend to use most while watercoloring, but they didn't have that in tube form, so, you know. Let's wet it. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with here. Okay, this isn't the worst thing ever. I've seen worse. Let's see how this paper handles it too. Is this paper? Okay, you can kind of blend. Cool. Can you lift? Decently. Okay. That's not too bad. And let's check the tube paint. Okay, this is less. That's kind of interesting that the tube is less pigmented. That's compared to this out of the pan. Well, okay, they're not horrible. I'm gonna open them up and then we'll start.
Okay, so this video actually included my sketching for the first time, even though this sketching's not anything really special. So the character, I guess it's just some kind of like girl with a sword. I wasn't really sure. I think, honestly, Sarah J. Maas's new book is coming out in a few weeks, Empire of Storms, from the Throne of Glass series, and I think it was just like somewhere in the back of my mind, because she kind of ended up looking similar to Selena from that book series, even though it was not meant to be her at all. Yeah, that arm on the side really bothering me, the one where that's holding the sword. I'll eventually fix it later, but like for now, just really strange looking and too thin. This paper was also getting a little eaten up by the eraser, because like I said, it's kind of like it's thick, but it's not like great quality paper. I'd say it's not even as good as cardstock. It's more like construction. It's like a mix of construction paper and like cheap cardstock or something. I don't really know. It's not as thick as cardstock actually. So I went in for a second with a kneaded eraser to lighten my line work before going in with paints, because I don't want to muddy the colors with too much graphite. And yeah, I'm only using red, yellow, and blue again. I'm using the Prussian Blue pan, and then I'm using, I think it was Alizarin Crimson, not Cadmium Red, and just Cadmium Yellow. So you can see this paper absorbs the paint way too quickly, like it doesn't let it sit on top for any time, so it's hard to make flat washes because it dries so quickly that it's hard to get it even. So yeah, that was kind of a problem. So it's hard to get stuff to look, I don't know, so defined, and stuff would like bleed a lot. I could have gone in with like a dryer or something, but since it was a cheap supply challenge, I didn't want to use the normal hair dryer method, though really that's something a lot of people keep in their house, so it's not abnormal to have it around. You could see me eating my hot tamales in the background too, because obviously you can't go without those. That arm still looks weird, honestly, even after I like sort of fixed it. I think her body might be too small, or her other arm is also way smaller, which doesn't make sense because I accidentally got dark paint on part of her arm, so it looks way thinner, and you can't lift the paint on this paper at all, so that was stuck like that. Same with the shadows, they kind of came out a little weird on her face, and I couldn't lift off some of the parts that I wanted to keep lighter. Okay, so now I'm testing gel pens to see which colors I want to use for the lines. Oh yeah, I was trying to do her eyes and it like spread onto her face. Also look at her lips. The paint that I put down, because the paper was so eaten up, it like spread into the rest of the paint even though it wasn't even wet. So she just has like crazy lips now. Which is great. This gel pen line art is like eh. It's fun because it's glittery, but other than that. I could have used a ballpoint pen as well. I probably should have. Like a Papermate or something. But I kind of wanted to use these glittery gel pens because I am probably a 4-year-old. I love gel pens. Yeah. So that messy stuff at the bottom, obviously, I would cut off.
Okay, so this is the final product. The paint wasn't as bad as expected, actually, so even though it looked all disgusting and shriveled and some of the tubes were like half dry. I mean, watercolor is easily rewettable, and they had a decent amount of pigment, so yeah, I mean, honestly, with watercolors, as long as it's not chalky, you're mostly okay, because you can always build up pigment. Like, as annoying as it is to keep rubbing your brush in the paint to get more color, I mean, it's not necessary to have the highest quality paints as long as they're not super chalky, because then it'll transfer and that's not the best. These aren't, see, like when you rub this, it doesn't really come off, like it's not chalky, so yeah. So let me see if I can bring myself closer. Oh, you can see the glitter. Remember, I did her line arting glitter gel pen. This is horrible lighting, I'm sorry. Her face is like, but. So, this brush, Daiso 4 for $150. Pretty good. I mean, I use it frequently, especially for like sketchbook stuff. And it comes with like different sizes and the same thing. This was pretty good. Paint's not bad. I mean, you're not gonna go wrong with paper towel. Paper was the worst part because obviously it's not watercolor paper. I'm pretty sure it's for dry media. It's not bad paper, it's just bad for watercolor. Can't really lift stuff well once. Like if you made a mistake, it's there. Can't get it off. So yeah, that kind of was the worst part. And the glitter gel pens, just because they're super thick, it's hard to get line variation. It's hard to get thin lines. I mean, you can always thicken your lines up. So that was hard, but other than that, I think it was okay. I mean, it's really not necessary to have super expensive watercolors. It's nice to, I guess, but as long as you have red, yellow, and blue, you're good. And if you do want to buy expensive watercolors, you could just buy like a full pan or something of red, yellow, and blue, and then you can mix all of your colors and they'll still be high quality because you can make everything from those colors except colors that are brighter, like, you know, like neon pink and stuff that you would actually have to buy. But yeah, I mean, the more color theory you know, the less you have to buy. So of course it's more about skill than supplies in the end. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Maybe in the future I'll do cheap art supplies using other medium like markers and stuff like that. Alright, see you.